Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the WD Black Open Cup powered by AMD Ryzen with the Esports Club as the esports partner. I'm CA joined by Redbro today for the lower bracket decided finals between Godlike Esports and Team Mahi. This is a revenge storyline, Redbro. This was the matchup in the upper bracket semifinals. I know Godlike, they'll have a vengeance story lined up for them as they try to take down Team Mahi.
Definitely, it's going to be a battle of the Titans here, C, and I'm really looking forward to the clash of these two amazing teams throughout the entire match and this entire series.
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting matchup. So let's quickly go over to the map Vito, see what we have got in store for us for this series. Now, starting us off is going to be Haven, picked by Team Mahi, Bind picked by Godlike, and then that leaves Icebox for the decider. We do know that Godlike banned away Split while Team Mahi banned away Ascent. I understand Ascent, I think it's one of Godlike's best maps, but a split ban for the side of Godlike, it's a bit of a question mark for me. But I guess the roles not being decided for them is the issue. Last time around, we saw Viper for Heaven on split, and I think they're not really comfortable with their agents just yet on that map.
Right. So it looks to be that Haven and Bind are just fan favorites when it comes to these two
Yeah.
particular teams, especially given the fact that Haven is an attacker-sided map, and both of these teams have those amazing entry fraggers in their particular lineup. So it looks to be that they're going to be flexing those particular roles going onto on this particular map. So both of these teams will want to rack up the most amount of points on attack and just try to hold as many points as they can on defense. But bear in mind, both of these teams, they love playing aggressive even on defense. It doesn't really matter who's on attack and who's on defense. You can expect a lot of fights near that mid garage area or that mid window area, regardless of whoever's playing which side. So that is something that's really interesting. Bind, on the other hand, bit of a wild card. Given the fact that it is a defensive-oriented map, so these two teams were known for their aggressive plays, are going to have to retune their strategy and try and play a more conservative approach. So that's something that we're going to look forward to as well.
Yeah, and on that note, I think it makes perfect sense that both of these teams, they carry that Sky into Bind to try and enable their aggressive approach. But coming back onto Haven, I completely agree. It's all about map control. It doesn't really matter which side you're on. The more map control these teams get, the more freely they're able to play, and that's where they really thrive and become their very best. So I'm excited to see how this does pan out, because there will be, if I am correct about the compositions, a small change in them. Like, I do believe Vibhor is stepping in today for Amaterasu for the side of Team Mahi. I expect him to slot in easily into that Omen role for Team Mahi. But in terms of literal compositions, that Reyna on Excali versus the Phoenix on Flex, that's going to be an interesting look. We'll see if Excali can pop off on that agent.
Definitely. We're going to be absolutely watching Excali throughout the course of the match right now. It's going to be an attacker favor map, so we are going to be looking at the entry factor. So it looks to be that the lineups are pretty much the same at this point. The Jet, the Phoenix, Cypher, Sova, and Omen. It's an exact match between these two teams. It looks to be that Godlike are stacking up towards the C side, even though the rest of Team Mahi are now on towards this mid side. They're pushing in with the recon drone. They're going to slowly bide their time here. There's a little bit of an engagement somewhere on the map currently as the TM Antidote Man dashes in towards the back of sight with that Jet. TM Hellfire takes down Godlike Deathmaker, though. That's going to remove a lot of the defensive potential from the side of God L, because Deathmaker, remember, he's the danger man. You pick him off the map, and a lot of threat from Godlike is removed. TM right to Ace takes down Godlike Hyvan near that area. Excali finds a curveball, can't find the shot onto Shivy, though. Gets taken down in the process. The defensive round is still on. Godlike Whitehorse wants a Ferrari peak right there. God L Whitehorse is taken down. Vibor and Right pick up 2 quick kills onto Shivy and Whitehorse. Godlike Flex returns with another one. 1v2. He's going to get a few peppered shots from Right to Ace near that mid-side area. He has 2 HP to work with, CA. And unfortunately, he can't find the targets nearly quickly enough as he wanted to. And TM take a very comfortable first down on attack.
Yeah, and a very decisive approach towards that B side to get the fast execute down. They get a comfortable plant, and then most notably for me, they're able to maintain one of the A-Link and C-Link controls as well as maintain mid. I think in that B approach, there's 3 power points, the A-Link, C-Link, and mid. If you're able to hold 2 out of the 3 power points, it makes that B post-plant position much more favorable for the attackers. But back to the lineups itself, Excali on that Phoenix, not what I was expecting whatsoever. It's an interesting look because we see the Reyna usually for him because it's all about letting him go and making his plays by himself. The Phoenix much more of a team agent. I do believe objectively that Phoenix is better on Haven, but for Excali himself, if that Phoenix is better, we'll have to see. But right now, TM with the buys, they've got the Spectres online on all 5 members. They're once again rinsing and repeating this B approach. The plant is going to go down, and it's Godlike now trying to push for the retake. Yeah, Link, so instantly designed this shot dart going to displace multiple people, and Godlike, they're already at this point.
Oh my goodness, Deathmaker picking up that shot on towards Right to Ace. He peeked out thinking that one person was there, but did not expect 3 members onto this particular side. But TM are absolutely making Godlike commit to a funnel right here in this A-Link position, and they're just taking them off, picking them off clean one by one. There's going to be another round going over to TM. They consolidated control over site pretty easily on towards B. They didn't face any contesting when they actually pushed out from mid-window or to that garage area. They take control of the map, they push in, get the spike plan down, and hold the post-plan scenario so well. Godlike forced into that area where they might not have favored a lot of the gunfights, but what can you do? That when the clock's ticking down, there's not much you can do. You have to figure out your options. You have to find out what you want to do and really just consolidate control. As you can see, there's a response coming out from them. They're holding 2 members on B.
Yeah, this is a really interesting setup here from Godlike Esports. They're trying to deny this mid approach into the B side, but I don't think it's actually going to happen, considering that TM are not the sort of team who repeat the play that many times. Like, I understand the pistol to Spectre's idea in the second round, but in this third, you can see they're switching it up, going for the C side, the flashes to take garage control, and now into C, right to Ace, moving in from long, but the lurk for Heban in the smoke is too good. He takes down right to Ace, and that's the spike carrier dropped. Has the dark cover behind him to make sure he's able to get into a safe position. But look at Hellfighter here over the attacker's side spawn. He's swarmed from both angles, while the rest of Team Mahi themselves are contesting. Backside, Team Mahi fighting a war on multiple fronts. They will lose their attacker's side spawn, with Deathmaker taking him down. That leaves Hevan in this position, but he's getting pushed. It's up to Anti really to win this duel, but instead he's just going to pick up the spike and retreat into a safe position.
Team Mahi in an isolated position right now. They left the spike carrier down in a precarious situation. They pushed up the smoke where Hyban was actually camping there, and that really pushed them up into this dangerous position in a 2v4 scenario. They're getting enveloped from all sides here, CA. They have one person holding on towards CT. They have someone pushing up to C-Long as well. Like, Skelly's gonna take that aggressive peek on towards Chibi, getting the headshot off. He's gonna use the flame wall to try and heal himself up, but the spike control is there. They're gonna stick the defuse here. Half gone. Headshot coming out from Deathmaker. Hyban picks up the second kill onto Antidote Man. And Godlike Whitehorse has the easiest defuse of his life. He stuck it at the first go, knowing that both members of TM would have to be forced into that particular site to contest that spike defuse. And Godlike really well played on the retake. Hyvan with that clutch play near that smoke area. That was what set up the dominoes to stack up against TM that led to their demise in this particular round. But it's still a 2-1 scoreline. Every round on defense on Haven is precious, and Godlike will be happy to take that one.
Yeah, absolutely. But for TM themselves, that was that bonus round where they carried over the Spectres. Anti went for the save to get himself this attacking operator. And it's all about this now. This A-long back team goes to get off for the first peak, and Hellfighter there for the backup. Despite the fact that the op shot misses first, the fact that Hellfighter is there ready to clean it up means that the first blood goes over to Team Mahi. Now Flex, he's trying to contest this, but his flashes are out and he's got himself stuck in this corner. Gonna put up the wall to try to get himself out, but these are the mind games that come up huge. He's actually not used the wall to reposition himself. Instead, just gonna hold that angle. On the other side of the map, you see the running back coming through as Scally moves himself inside. All of this just for map control. EM not committing just yet. They're playing it very safe.
Yep, they're just probing onto each particular site, but there we go. There's the pick coming out from Team Antidote Man. That's going to be huge on towards that garage area, prompting the push on towards C site. The shot guard's going to go down. Not really going to find anybody in that particular position, but the spike plant has been down. That pick onto Hyvan near that garage facilitated that push on towards C. They pulled people on towards A. Godlike Flex getting a kill onto Team Hellfire in that area, though. That particular push on towards A that actually pulled in all members of Godlike towards that site, allowing the rest of TM to push in for that attack on towards C, getting the plant down as we do see a consolidated push coming out from Godlike. 3 members have already committed. God Flex can't find a shot onto Excali though. Vibor spots out 2 members, gets a headshot on Whitehorse, runs out of ammo, switches to the pistol, can't really find the last shot on towards Chibi. He has to retreat, saving the Spectre. And TM with the mind games of their own, despite the fact that they did start in a little bit of a shaky spot. Antidote Man picking up that kill, and them also consolidating pressure on towards A side. And that's the thing with Haven. On the attacker's side, you have this sort of advantage, you have this sort of ability to pull in the defenders on towards a particular side by applying a little bit more pressure and just committing a little bit more resources. And once it's there, you just go in for the slow or fast rotates by leaving one member on towards mid and having that person anchor to watch for any sort of rotations. But once you confirm that the defenders have committed onto the side that you're committing onto, slowly rotate to the other side and you're going to find an empty one. And TM absolutely abusing that particular fact.
Yeah, it's basically a game of chicken where each side is like, hey, you make the first move or I make the first move. For the attackers, they have the first priority advantage though, where they're able to dictate whether or not they want to make that first move. And that's really where we see both of these teams thriving. So for Godlike, I just want to see them stabilize their eco a little bit, try to get Deathmaker on that off to answer Antidote as soon as possible, and then look for more plays. Now you can see an A-side aggressive push here is Deathmaker with the place on the rest of the team on the buys. He's gonna find one, but the trades are coming out. It's a 2v2, 2-for-2 on the map so far, but with right to A stacked down really low, Team Mahi realized that they can't really force the issue for much longer on this side. They're gonna go for the rotates, but Godlike, they understand this, they're prepared for this, and they're expecting us as they themselves will make sure that they're ready on the sides. The camera as well as the utility down at C long while White House holds down Garage, meaning that they have all the information they need to stop it aggressively.
But they do have some sort of an info right now. Hellfire, the Godlike Whitehorse actually knows the fact that they're on that position. Godlike Deathmaker, oh my goodness, that was nasty with the Blade Storm against an operator. The Recon Dart's gonna spot him out along with the camera drone. Godlike Whitehorse pushing on towards garage area. TM right to A's gets 1 kill on towards Shivy. He's gonna be left in a 1v2 though. Godlike Deathmaker, he does not miss with those blades. He's gonna get a dink onto him though. Godlike Whitehorse really obliging to pick up that kill on towards right to Ace. And Godlike, the way that you said, they want to stabilize their economy, they want to consolidate their control over these sites and make these quick rotations, and that is exactly what they did.
Yeah, and this is especially huge because now they don't actually have to buy the operator, they just picked it up from Antidote Man. And the fact that they're able to do that means that they have that extra bit of pressure in terms of the eco going into the next round, because for Team Mahi, even though they had last couple of rounds won, they were rounds where they were losing multiple members in them, so there was no eco really built up. So going into this round, they're actually forced into a situation where they have to force by 3 light shields, 1 stinger, meaning Team Mahi really putting all of their cards into one place here. But so far it's worked out. Excali, he gets the first blood, and while the trade comes through for White House on the other side of the map, you can still see that the ground gain for Team Mahi makes that trade valuable for them. They push into C side, and now the recon coming through will take away this backside pressure retained by Godlike. Godlike, they're gonna have to give up the side play for the retake, but this is where I keep my eyes on Hellfighter. His position down at B could just be the flank TM.
Definitely looks to be that he will push on towards that particular position. He has that control over this B main area with the Stinger. It's really dangerous on towards these close ranges, and the Godlike, they're gonna have to be really careful when they're rotating towards that particular position. But it looks to be that they're not gonna go there. They're gonna push into C. Vibor takes down Whitehorse. Ivon's gonna take down Vibor in the return frag though. Is trade for trade, but Ivon's getting every single one of them. Deathmaker taking down right to Ace near that area is gonna fall to TM Hellfire. He has the Stinger though. He has a flank on him. The diffuser is going down. He's gonna last kill on towards Ivan. He's gonna secure the operator. Unfortunately, can't bring it on to the next round as a spike detonates, taking him down. But my goodness, they should have really. Oh my god. They didn't have the time to actually respond to that flank on from TM Hellfire. As you said, that power position did not serve the purpose it wanted to originally, but it served an amazing purpose nonetheless, as Team Mahi now find themselves 4-2 on the scoreboard. These retake scenarios coming out from Godlike not really favoring them, as they're now going to have to go for the half buys and try and meet the push head on towards those cheeky off angles with the Buckies, with the Ghosts, and the Sheriff. So we look to see that TM have to play a bit slowly though, because these Buckies, even though they're really low in terms of the credit value, they can actually give you a lot of return on investment if you use them correctly in those close range positions. TM now on the attack, looking to find a pick.
Yeah, absolutely, right? Especially when TM themselves have 3 Spectres, they want to play those closing fights, so they're gonna have to be smart about it. And so far, it's exactly that. Antidote just slowly picks up, peeking towards his mid position, able to find Heaven and take him down. And finding the controller on the other side as first blood is exponentially good, because that means no more smokes for the defense on Haven. That's like a ditch that is very hard to dig yourself off from. Now TM, they realize that they've got a lot of mid presence, they're trying to translate into sight, but DM, he's trying to hold it down, will get denied. Instead, it's Antidote Man picking up a triple kill, and TM opening up B side again.
Whitehorse unfortunately can't find a shot on towards his counterpart Hellfire in that particular area. Team Antidote Man now on an ace here, 4 kills with the Spectre going on towards menacingly near that A-Link area. Flex is right there. He does spot him out of mid lane though. Flex blows his head off with that Bucky, but he just can't find a response on towards Vibor. Can't find the weapon pickup. He can't really change to the weapon fast enough after using that hot hands. And the way that Team Mahi played it, they knew they had the Spectres. They knew that Godlike opted to pick up shotguns, because that is the meta right now when you're actually forced into a half buy. It used to be Stingers before the nerf, but right now the name of the game are the Buckies. And if you are facing off against a team holding those shotgun close angles, you know for a fact that going towards A or even going towards C exposes you to so many of those close, cheeky off angles that people can actually, on defense, can actually abuse against you, and you won't have a huge window of time to respond to. So they cleverly opted to go towards B and really have the openness of the area work against Godlike when they actually bought those Buckies. So they had the advantage going in for that fight with the Spectres, but it's gonna be another A push coming on towards the site here by TM. Godlike Deathmaker wanted to meet them head on. We did meet one head on, but Team Excali take down Hyvan using the run it back and push on towards the site here. The site has been consolidated in terms of control, and Godlike are gonna have to go for the retakes here.
I know exactly.
The plant is going down, but the neural theft for the side of Hellfighter will reveal all of Godlike's position. TM know exactly how to expect this retake to come through, and you can see which is why Wibor, he's ready with his paranoia to stop exactly that. The running back will come through, but the paranoia paired up as well means that this running back just instantly pointed. But Flex, he'll still make do. He's gonna find the double and then get taken down, and the pressure Flex created, absolutely phenomenal. Despite knowing the positions of Godlike Esports, TM, they take an aggressive peek to many, and Flex takes full advantage of that, picks up the kills, and it's Godlike Esports picking up the round, and that will mean that they will be able to stabilize their eco enough, maybe even look for an op into the next round. But the way these rounds are going back and forth, it does feel like the only advantage so far is the ability of TM to dictate how they want to approach a round because of the attack. So I want to see them take that lead after the first half, because when you go into the second, Godlike, they're going to have that same advantage for themselves.
Definitely, and it's gonna be a sigh of relief for Godlike as well, because all they're doing right now is just responding to the pushes coming out from TM. They really played and utilized their ultimates to perfection in that particular round, though, with the Hunter's Fury and the run it back coming out from Flex. Shivy and Flex absolutely using their abilities to perfection to take on that retake scenario. Just getting the pressure on. Flex created a lot of space for his teammates to push in, but the Hunter's Fury is gonna come out from right to Ace as well. He's gonna find one person, he's gonna get one tag onto him. Godlike Flex though, getting on towards Antidote map. DMX Kelly pushing it from that garage area, just down to White Horse. He knows that someone's there on towards that big window area. He's gonna use the reload and peek out towards him. Shivy now in a dangerously low position. Godlike TMX Kelly is also in that particular position. He gets the second kill to recharge his hot hands, but Flex is right there with a peek. Can't find the shot onto him though. It's gonna be TM Hellfire on the angle that Flex is not covering. He's gonna take him down. It's a 2v2 scenario. Can TM do it?
Sally was able to heal himself to full health with the hot hands as well as the wall. I don't think they're expecting this garage position. The first kill is huge, but the trade comes through for TM, and now it's a 1v1 for Excali. He'll find the headshot and he'll pick up the kill. And from a situation where, honestly, after Antidote Man dies in that seaside with the spike drop, it feels like the round just too grim a scenario for Godlike Esports, for TM to win from that point, and it all was in the court of Godlike to be able to do it. But the power points held by TM, Excali with the garage hold, Hellfighter with that mid hold, they were able to just get the flanks and get the headshots. And that's especially important because it once again reiterates the idea that on Haven, you might be able to get a lot of advantages on one particular side, but if you're trading those advantages for map control as a whole, you lose out in that bargain. So you have to make sure that while getting something, you're not giving up something just as valuable. Now Team Mahi, I think they're expecting this eco for the side of Godlike. They're trying to push it to B, but the Sheriff for Shivy too good, finds a clean headshot, and is able to get a 1-for-1. That 1-for-1 itself good, but you can see the weaponry advantage, but TM really fan out as Hellfighter gets the minute one.
Now it's going to be another post-plant scenario for Godlike to try and retake this one. You can see Deathmaker has that Blaze Storm ready. The Paranoia does hit Antidote Man smack dab in the face, but he does hear them out. Oh my goodness, peeks his head out. Hyvan, absolutely precision has been showcased by him though, but the Cyber Cage sound made by Godlike Flex and the signal towards Excali to fire on all cylinders. Hellfire's right there. Godlike's gonna find an Excali coming back from the run it back, but Hellfire's gonna have to play this one for time. They do not have enough time though. Unfortunately, Deathmaker's gonna have to go back, save the weapon that he got, despite that push coming out from B side, getting 2 kills, finding an unsuspecting Excali just coming back from the run it back, unfortunately. And TM get themselves on 7-3, and the way that they actually pushed on towards that side, utilizing the fact that Godlike had to go for an eco buy, TM actually did push in, but Godlike, oh my goodness, they almost got that particular round with the Sheriff 1 taps that they actually did, but unfortunately the ultimate usage too good from TM, and now they find themselves in a very comfortable position here. They confirm a 7-5 scoreline going on to the second half, which is really, really optimal.
Yeah, but like at the same time, it's a sweet round with a bit of a bitter taste considering all of them died. They're now in a position where a couple of light shields are there, a couple of specters, and given the fact that DM was able to save the gun, this is a full vibe situation for Godlike. So in this particular round, Godlike still have the advantage, and TM they're trying to nullify it once again with this B-side push. They're focusing all of their efforts here, trying to maximize the advantage they have with that specter in the close range battle. They got the plan down, but Flex, he's pushing aggressively and found that double. Flex creating enough space for DM to get in, meaning he'll find another kill, leaving right to Ace in an almost impossible situation. He's gonna know that DM just dashed out to the way. He knows where the spike is, will get the spam through to get one kill, and now he can find Shivy and Heaven here. Now Shivy is really low, but Shivy still, I think, barely able to spot right to Ace through the small thread of the smoke between the window there. I would say normally that's a bad smoke, but hey, it works out in their favor as Godlike pick up the round.
Yep,
Last
we did
round
see
in
that
the
right
half.
to Ace use that against Deathmaker when he went in for that ninja defuse. He spotted out the pixel head, and Deathmaker given a taste of his own medicine. This guy, he spots out a pixel, boom, instant headshot. He's sitting on 14-7-1, but so is Excali. It's a battle of the entry fraggers here, but Deathmaker's gonna have the advantage going on to this last round of the half, as he has a full shield and a phantom. Excali forced to pick up the broken buy with the Spectre on this particular matchup, and they're gonna go in for this consolidated A push. They're not gonna go into the rotates at all. They just want to really commit on towards this side. Cyber Cage has been popped, cutting off any sort of cheeky push coming out from the side of the defenders on towards this A-long area. The dark cover is there. TM are now going to slowly position themselves near this A site. They have A-long. They haven't pushed in through sewers yet. They haven't hard committed on towards the site. Their main goal is to try and get as many people from Godlike committing on to defending this A site as possible. They're expecting a rotation on towards C. Two people are still hovering around that area, though. They're still not committing. It's a really, really slow round. No team wants to let go of this because for Godlike, it's a difference between 7-5 and 8-4. A 7-5 is definitely easier scoreline to come back from on attack because it's the sweet spot, right? You have 2 rounds in deficit, but you can still come back using the advantage that the attackers have on this particular map. As you do see Godlike, they've invested 3 members on towards that B and garage area. 2 members now holding on to these angles. Power angles here that TM have to push in through. The Cloudburst goes in, the push comes out. Typhon's gonna get tagged with the paranoia. Excali's gonna pick up the kill, but Godlike Flex is in that heaven area, uses the curveball, but the spike's still gonna go down. The retake is on.
Spike planted.
Now Godlike, once again, this is the telegraphed same retake with the running back coming through from that CT angle as they try to push in, but this time the news left a little bit late. It's gonna be before getting caught up. They don't have as much information, and we've seen this before. Flex with that triple as Godlike pick up the round. This A post plant for TM just not working out at all. Like the last time we saw this, it was the running back Flex taking shots. Once again, the same thing happening. I feel like the best way to try and answer that running back is just try and, as a team, take him down really early. But the issue with that becomes you have the hit squad of Godlike coming right behind that running back clone. So like even if you take him down early, you have to be on point with your second kill as well. Because as soon as one defender dies in that post-plan scenario, like the entire team just collapses like set dominoes.
And that is exactly what happened in that particular scenario. Godlike Flex, twice we've seen him in the first half using that run it back to great success in the exact same position on towards that post-plant A scenario. TM, like you said, if they went in for the aggressive peaks, they would leave themselves open to reconsolidated pushes coming out from Godlike from other angles, maybe through A long, maybe through heaven. That is something that you do not want to do as a team. And honestly speaking, there's not a lot wrong that TM did in those particular scenarios. Godl Flex just absolutely outclassing a lot of those members right here with that running back. Has the safety though. That's why the confidence comes out from him in that particular position. He uses that to great effect. TM antidote man. Meanwhile, with the cheeky pick out coming out from that A side. Takes down Godel, Shivy, Excali. Oh my goodness, just 1 microsecond and boom, he's dead from Deathmaker. Now Godlike have consolidated control over this garage and C-Long. To push on towards C, but they have 3 members of Team Mahi to contest if they want to go here, and they rightfully go for the rotate. They understand that there's a really strong defensive chokehold here, and they're now going to push on towards A.
Honestly, it feels like it takes more time to react to a headshot for a normal person than it takes DM to get a headshot. Like, it just literally, what millisecond takes headshot dead. And like the idea, the reactions to be able to do that is absolutely nuts. But back into this round, you see Godlike, they're trying to get the A side to through. Panther is maintaining A heaven position. Not for long though, that spam, I don't believe it is the right move there because he gets tagged out by his opponents and he gets taken down, and that forces now Vibor to position towards this heaven angle. Without that jet, you can't really dash out of the way, and that maker, he takes full advantage of that. It is Godlike now with the 2-man advantage, able to get himself in a very comfortable position as they look to secure this pistol. It's DM with the 4th, and Hevan will clean it up. Denies DM the ace, but the pistol picked up is really huge, and this is where we see the real best factor of being able to go for that 7-5 scoreline. Because if you win the pistol, it's all but over in terms of the lead, because you get that Spectre round next, and you're able to use that to push through. I do notice though that one member from the side of Godlike might just be saving here, and I wonder if DM will go for the operator in the third next.
Yep, it looks to be the exact same thing that they want to do that you actually said. They're not using the go. He's not actually going for the SMG right now. Might just signal the operator, which is something that Deathmaker wants to go for. But I'm not really sure how they're going to abuse that on towards attack, as you do see TM now pushing on towards this A site here. They're going to peek out through that A main area. Godel Whitehorse has a camera to spot them out, though. The dash has been heard by him. He's going to hold his anchor position as all the members stampede throughout this particular position. They do not know that Whitehorse is in that angle. He's holding that position. Deathmaker's gonna get found out. He's gonna find Excali as well, as the rotation has been broken in half before it can even see the face of the site. Flex is now pushing on towards with the Spectre, but right to Ace has other plans. Shivy though, with the shock dart and the onslaught of the Spectre, just absolutely topsy-turvy here. 2 kills going to either side in rapid succession. And the way that Godlike had control over that, especially Whitehorse, we've seen him in these particular scenarios so many times. When he's had the anchor position, he's had the sound from people rotating on towards the site that they're actually pushing onto, and he just absolutely wrecks that rotation coming out from TM. Now the 7-7 scoreline is up, the score is tied. Can Godlike find the lead in this particular round?
Yeah, but this is the full buy for TM. You see 5 automatic guns here, assault rifles for the side of Team Mahi. Whereas on the other side, it's going to be 3 Spectres with Whitehorse forced onto a Spectre buy, meaning a lot of investment for Godlike into this round, considering that they lost those 3 guns. But at that 7-7 mark, if they're able to win this, the tempo and eco advantage would be huge, and they're trying to do that by pushing their advantage towards the A side. But Excali on the flank right now, he takes down the trapper and double. Put a moment of hesitation into Godlike. Flex pushing in, he's able to find one, but right to Ace with an instantaneous raid, leaves it down to the rest of Godlike to find the answers, and they will do so extremely well. You see, Godlike, what I'm really confused about regarding their push is that they're systematic yet they're aggressive, and I feel like that's continuously catching TM off guard. We don't really see a lot of teams play this way. They either play systematic across a map and go for rotations, or they go for hard executes. It feels like Godlike, they found the best of both worlds, and they go angle by angle, check it out, and once they've got themselves in the sewers and long positions, as a team they're able to execute onto site very well.
It also comes down to the fact that Flex and Deathmaker are now in their comfort zone, pushing on towards sites with their aggressive agents, using the curveballs, using the dashes, and the cloudburst to make space for the rest of their team to push in by going in towards those angles. The defenders are now forced to actually deal with the 2 entry fraggers who have consolidated control over advanced positions on towards the site. And to address this, Ivan, unfortunately, finds out TM Vibor holding that angle. Excali is going to be the sole survivor. But what I was saying was that when you actually have someone pushing on towards a side, like a Jet or maybe a Phoenix, using the curveball and just going on towards advanced positions into a site, the defenders have to scurry to deal with that sort of pressure. And that leaves you open to other people pushing in from the main positions, right? So you have a new threat to deal with. You have to deal with the entry fraggers who are now looming and now just approaching you so quickly, but also you have to control the backups that they're bringing from that A main area. So Godlike, using that tactic so well against TM, they get 2 rounds across the board. They now have they get 3 rounds across the board. They now have the lead for the first time in this particular game. And the way that they're actually going and controlling the sites and just absolutely approaching Team Mahi and just going aggressive against TM before they can get in for the rotations, before they can even go for the post plan, is just a stark contrast to what the attacking strategy of TM was. And it's paying out for Godlike.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do wonder on that note, like if TM should try and commit to one extreme, wherein you can either go for the aggressive peaks on A main, try to win the duels, and therefore guarantee at least the A long control for your team, or just play very defensive the way Godlike did in their own half. Play for the retakes, knowing that you can just sort of give them the taste of their own medicine and try to push your advantage on the basis of that. Because right now, like the side hole's really not working out. Because as you said, like Flex and Dapmaker, they're just in their element. Flex especially, the amount of space he's really creating for Dapmaker. I love the way this duo functions, where they have clear defined roles. It's all about like Flex almost as a battering ram to get his team in, create the space, and then the rest of them come in and they utilize that space perfectly, continuously clearing out angles with the information he's able to get and getting the advantages for their team. Now, there was attack pause from the side of Team Mahi, I believe. So we'll see if they're able to pull out some sort of setup here, because right now, it is the eco, just like Scally able to afford the full buy, the rest of the team on broken bits of weaponry. So a chance for Godlike to not just consolidate the lead, but do so while maintaining their eco advantage, so you always have the option if Deathmaker would like to pick up the off.
Definitely, it's gonna be a comfort round for them. They're gonna have that avenue to play a little bit more in terms of risk factor. The DM Vibor holding that close angle with the Stinger. He's anticipating a push coming out from Godel. The dash is gonna come out from him. The Stinger shots landing a little bit on towards Flex. Flex though taking down Vibor from that off angle, using the hot hands to heal himself up. He has the run it back available. But Hellfire is in the Cyber Cage, waiting and raring as two members of TM are also in that particular green box area. The Paranoia goes down, but they're not going to spot out White Horse coming on towards this garage area. Deathmaker's going to take down TMX Cali. They're going to push on towards the side. Godel, all members are not pushing on towards him. Godel Flex, despite looking at another angle. TM right to Ace. He's going to regret that peek, though, and Godel White Horse picks up the last kill. Another amazing flawless round coming out from Godel, and I'm just really impressed the way that they attack on towards the side. Bear in mind, though, TM had the inferior weapons going in for them, and even though it was a comfort round for Godel, they now have a really strong economy going forward for the next 3 rounds. TM have to find an answer to the attack right now and start winning rounds, at least 2 in the next ones. Otherwise, they're going to have a really dangerous side of Godel to deal with in the subsequent rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. It's now or never, especially with Antidote Man picking up the operator. They're going for this 3-stack down at A. The aggressive push from Excali down A sewers, while the rest of them move into A main. Now you see Antidote, he's positioned himself behind these boxes, but DM, he's so aggressive in his position here. Antidote needs to take him down. He's going to be able to do exactly that. Dashes out a way to make sure that Heaven not able to find the answer. And it's Excali with another kill down in sewers to consolidate the advantage for Team Mahi. The double kill picked up in A is exactly what I meant. You need to try and balance how you're answering the side of Godlike's aggressive push into A. Either take the battle to them, get control, or step back. And TM, they're clearly not a team that likes to step back. They took the fights to the side of Godlike, and the duelists, they picked up 3 kills to give them an advantage.
A 2v5 here. TM Antidote, man, absolutely dismantling the attack coming out from God L. Hyvan's going to be the only person in that area outside, just outside A. Antidote Man picking up 3 kills with the operator, really sealing the deal for his team. And this is what I was talking about. They really needed to step up and get a few rounds on the board in order to break this monolithic economy that God L have built up themselves. And they really need to have this sort of momentum going forward for the next round as well. Hyvan's going to get taken down by a flanking Excali from the back. And that's going to mean that TM finally breathe a sigh of relief, as they're going to have full shields going on towards the next round. But Godell's going to be like, okay, no worries. We're just going to use our 8,000 to 9,000 credits and buy another round of rifles. They can do so again, even if they lose out this one round. So the next 2 rounds, really critical for TM. Did you see Antidote Man purchase up on towards the box area? He's going to use the operator. We do see 2 members of Godel contemplating a push on towards C-Long. They're going to find the barrel of Antidote Man's operator holding on towards that angle. 2 of these members, are they going to push up? No, they do not. They understand that there might be an operator there. Cleverly uses the recon drone. They do spot it out, though. Deathmaker opts to show a little bit of his leg on towards that C-Long area. They're not going to commit. They're not going to push up. Antidote Man now approaching that C-long area really aggressively with the operator, the angles that he loves to play. Deathmaker and Shivy now contemplating a push as we do see the dark cover has prompted Antidote Man to go in for the push. He's going to go in for the push and still get the headshot on and still escaping the clutches of an angry Shivy who just lost his team member to one of the nastiest shots I've ever seen in this tournament. My goodness, pushes the dark cover, still gets a headshot, still gets out of the nick of time. What was that?
I'm just as astounded, bro. Like, the real tenacity to be able to make that move, and you see, not like they're almost frustrated by that kill. They're like, no, he can't do it again. Let's try that one more time. Antidote just like, thank you. I'll take that every single day of the week. Gets another peek, and that's Flex going down. Now looking for his third. He repositioned himself behind these boxes. I don't think they're expecting him here. Now he has two people to deal with, one in cubby, one in long, and it's going to be Shivy taking the first peek. The jump coming out gets tagged, I believe, but not taken down just yet. Instead, it's Vibor holding down, yanking down mate to get the kill. Antidote with a third, and it looks like we're all set for another flawless for the side of Team Mahi. Just Excali left to wrap up Shivy here. It's going to happen in a second. Two flawlesses back to back mean that it's not just the morale that you get for your team, the eco though. Now, even if they lose this next round, they will be easily able to afford a free operator buy in the next. And we've already seen how devastating that operator is on Antidote, man. So like for Godlike now, their situation very precarious. They have one more buy for themselves. Actually, I believe two more because of their win streak, but it still means that giving over an eco advantage to the defenders, giving a free op in every single round to Antidote, it just makes it a very difficult situation to deal with.
Definitely, and now TM find themselves on the opposite end here. Godlike, they went in with their amazing economy, and the two rounds that they lost absolutely chipped away at that. And TM in the best possible scenario right now. Godl opted for attack pause here because this is a critical round for them. If they do lose this one out, they're gonna be forced into a broken buy for Godl Flex and possibly even White Horse for that matter. So they do not want to let go control of this particular one. They have to chip away the economy that TM have now built up for themselves. They have the consolidated control. They can go in for the operator even if they lose this particular one. And that's going to mean that TM Antidote Man's going to retain his threat for the next round as well. They're going to have to find an answer for that though, because Antidote Man's operator has been the absolute catalyst for TM to win out these two rounds on towards defense. They're going to have to deal with this soon. Otherwise, they're going to find themselves on the back end again. As we do see a push coming on towards every single side of the map. Godl, they're going to try and look for a pick and really burst onto a site where they have the defender down. And playing really slowly, Deathmaker is in that advanced position on towards garage area. Antidote Man's going to get spotted out by the recon dart. That's going to levy a little bit of information to Deathmaker that the area is not safe for peeking out. He's just going to hold that off angle from window, happily obliging their Antidote Man. Just absolute patience from this man right here. My goodness, holding on to that angle. Deathmaker is in an absolute chokehold scenario right now. His only option is to push in through garage or risk a peek on towards Antidote Man, and the way that we've seen him, he does not miss. Uses the Cloud Burst for the one win. Now let go of that angle though. Deathmaker, he's still contemplating a push as Hyvan has used that ultimate to push on towards an advanced position on A. They do not have any person holding on there though. Hellfire is the only person on towards heaven. He's going to signal to all members of TM that the push has been on. They're getting the control over this site. The call of the Hunter's Fury has been signaled out, pushing out Shivy in towards the position that was really advantage for Hellfire to pick him off. Now the Span's going to go down for second round here. Flex shoot out a few bullets from Hellfire. It looks to be TM is in a scenario where they have the advantage going forward. It's a 5v3. The run it back has been popped by TM Excali. He's going to push on towards that side though. Flex is in that A-long area. He's going to try and get control over the side, but still gets headshotted by Antidote Man and TM Hellfire. He's going to pick up White Horse. The retake is successful. My goodness, the way that TM actually approached that retake position, strong tactics, strong pressure, 5v3 scenario, getting that on, and TM getting the lead back in the second half.
There's so many things about that round that work out so well for Team Mahi. Like, firstly, Deathmaker in that advanced position, as you said, he was, despite the fact that he was able to get all of Garage for himself, he was in a position where he couldn't really translate that position to an actual side push for his team, which meant that his advantage basically nullified. The patience was huge from Team Mahi, and Excali picking up that kill meant that they knew with from the shadows going down A that it was an A side push. The second thing I really like though is Hellfighter holds on to his cages. He doesn't pop them to try and defend the site. He makes sure that he pops them instead when his team is ready to go for the retake, because that guarantees two essentially smokes down at A long and A sewers, and it makes the first plunge so difficult for Godlike Esports. Now Antidote Man, he's repositioned himself, got that first pick, and you can see it's like you either go into the hands of the operator or you either go into the hands of the Cypher. Either way, it's not an ideal situation whatsoever. But Godlike right now in this round, they made it work. They've got the site, but they haven't really got full control over the map. You see TM, they will take out Flex. The Lurker taken out, meaning they can now consolidate together as a team, try to use their advantage to push for the retake.
White Horse gets Flex down. It's going to mean a lot of bad things for Godlike, though. But Godlike Deathmaker opts to get a headshot on towards TM Excali. He's in really dangerous in those particular positions. Vibor is going to be the next one to fall to him, though. But Hellfire has found an amazing angle on towards the side. And Hellfire and TM Antidote Man are going to be the heroes of TM in this retake scenario. They lost Vibor and Excali to Deathmaker from that seaside area. That area just outside C Long. But it was just not enough for Godl, because TM, the way that they had the control over the map, like you said, they were just pigeonholed in towards the particular site, and it's really difficult to hold C when you're stuck in the middle, because you have three critical angles to cover. You have CT, which the defenders, if they have an entry fragger like Phoenix, they can just absolutely abuse with the curveballs, and with Omen's Paranoia as well. You also have Garage, which is a bit of a wild card to hold from C-Long, provided you're exposing yourself to two angles when you're actually holding on towards that particular site. So you need more than three to really have a proper control in that post-plant scenario. And TM uses that fact, uses the man disadvantage to go in really aggressively. Now Deathmaker is going to find himself in that pocket area. The recon dart's going to go down from his teammate. It's not going to land anywhere though, unfortunately, but they still push on towards it. Vibor takes down Deathmaker. TM Excali taking down Flex. The attack has been broken before it can see the face of the site, and now Godl scurrying towards another side. They have to go in for another option here. Hyvan's gonna get spotted out by the spy cam dart. Antidote Man is right there nailing. He's gonna try and wait for the peek out. Is he gonna peek though? The teleport is on. He's gonna teleport on toward the other side, but there's Hellfire on that angle. Unfortunate for Hyvan. He gets taken down. Chibi peeks out. It's gonna be curtains for him though. He's gonna find the operator shot. Is he? Yes, he will. TM Antidote Man. My goodness. The Spiber Cage went down, and the moment it went down, Shivy just absolutely eradicated, and it's gonna be match point for TM. What a crazy second half. The first 4 rounds went to Godlike with their amazing tactical synergy on attack, but TM, my goodness, the defense, the way that they consolidated themselves, they got their together, and they really went at it as a team. Now they stand on the precipice of winning the first game of this best of 3 series.
Get out of my way!
Yeah, I don't think they've lost a single round ever since Antidote has got his hands on the operator. Just impenetrable, his position. If you go into his crosshairs, he'll take you down. If you don't go into his crosshairs, you're gonna find yourselves at the mercy of the Cypher utility. And TM, they set themselves up in this win-win situation. But Godlike, they don't seem to have any answer whatsoever. Now with the broken buys, you see Excali pushing it, but he misses. Shot takes out his Molly to try and answer, but gets taken down. But his backup is ready. It's Antidote Man to take one down. Hellfight on the other side with another kill, meaning Godlike get funneled in onto the Z position. But it feels like this is exactly what TM want. The paranoia coming out, they're contesting the site before they even give it up, and that might be a bad decision, because you can see now 2 kills going towards Godlike. Antidote Man trying to get the answers through. Gets one, but an answer back, and it's chaos all around. Just trades for both of the teams, meaning a 1v1 left right to Ace versus Heaven. Now it's up to Heaven to really get the spike planted, and he's trying to go for the bamboozle here. Trying to make sure he doesn't get flanked, but holding this position is really huge, because right to Ace has now no idea. He could be in C, he could have gone for the complete wraparound in A. Heaven now has the priority for where he wants to go, and I think he's going to start slowly edging himself towards this A side. He's running out of time though. He's going to have to make a run for it.
The shoulders of Hyvan are now carrying the extreme weight of Godlike's hopes of winning out the first
10
game
seconds
here. They're
left.
sitting on match point. Right to Ace is in a very low HP situation. This is doable for Hyvan though. He plants the spike on towards
planted.
A. Which position is he gonna choose is the question though. He's gonna go in towards a short area. He knows that right to Ace might be coming in from that angle. He's gonna get the shot off! And right to Ace, unfortunate with his 50 HP, just can't find the duel on towards Hyvan. He gets the spike plant off, and Godlike live to fight another round. And the way that Team Mahi actually pigeonholed Godlike into that B area, it looked to be a slow push where they just picked them off and just really squeezed tight their team members. But a few unfortunate events and incidents coming out for TM and Godlike in those 1v1s and the aim battles just went in favor of Godel in those 50-50 scenarios, and the coin toss win is right there. Hyvan securing the last round for his team. They need 2 more wins though to get to the overtime. Are they gonna go in for the consolidated push on towards the site? They do have 2 members positioned outside garage, but TM Antidote Fan's gonna put a nail, not the final nail though, on the coffin of Godel if they do get another kill. Excali's in that advanced position. The Deathmaker has been peeked out. Shivy finding Excali in a very vulnerable spot with the curveball in hand. Unfortunately, the neural theft's gonna ping out all members of Godel. Now they have consolidated control over this particular scenario. TM Hellfire gets the spike on towards Garage. Is not gonna find an answer towards Hyvan though, but Vibor is right there with a return flag. And Flex is the only person now remaining. Uses the curveball. Is not gonna find Vibor though. And TM find the first game of this best of 3 series.
Yeah, very well played by Team Mahi in that round. Whitehouse makes a small mistake with the positioning of his Cypher cage, but that's aggressively punished by Antidote Man, making sure to get the kills. Making sure to get that first blood. He allows Excali to play a lot more aggressively in his garage position, and Excali pays it off with another kill onto the key player from Godlike. Deathmaker being down means that it becomes very difficult to create space for the rest of the team without that jet. So Team Mahi, 13-10, a phenomenal second half on the defense with Antidote leading the charge on their operator. They were able to close off the game. 6 first bloods on that jet, just absolutely phenomenal for Antidote. Most of those, I believe, picked up in the second half. Damn, that was one hell of a matchup, and it was really close between both of these teams. But Godlike, they've lost their first shot at revenge, but don't fear, this was TM's map, so I'm sure Godlike will be back with the bang in the next. For now, though, we'll go over to the WD Black match highlights, really talk about what the difference was in this particular map. And starting off, like I want to mention particularly Excali. Shifting onto the Phoenix from the Reyna, your role becomes a lot more for the team. Like, as compared to the Reyna, you can't just go off in and off angle, try to find the kills and dismiss out. No, you have to make sure that the utility you're using is translating into advantages that your team is able to utilize for the win, and he is able to do that consistently. Getting many more kills and making sure to always create space for his team meant that he was always that leading front line, and it's exactly what we expect from that Phoenix. So I have to give props to him, especially because we were missing this version of Excali yesterday in the match against Global Esports. Antidote and Hellfight are consistent as ever. With that operator, it feels like there is no stopping them, and that's going to be something for Godlike to ponder over as they go into the next map. How do you shut down Antidote Man when he's got that operator? On the side of Godlike though, I have to say, very promising from Flex himself. Like, same basically as Excali. The idea of the space he's able to create for his team, allowing Deathmaker to play that aggressively, it was absolutely phenomenal.
Yep, he does play really well in conjunction with Deathmaker in those particular aggressive scenarios when they have to go in for the site control, when they have to get into advanced positions to allow all members to come in though. Godlike and TM, they showcased how you can actually defend and attack both at the same time, regardless of which side you're actually on. The relentless aggression that you can showcase as a team on Haven is one of the unique parts of the map, because even if you're the defenders, you can opt to go in for those aggressive rotations coming out from A, or even meet the attackers head on from that B main area or the garage area, provided you have an entry fragger like Phoenix or even Reyna who can get into those aggressive situations and get themselves out. into safety really easily after getting one kill. And that is exactly what both the teams did. Unfortunately for Godlike, though, they really couldn't find an answer to TM Antidote's operator and the consolidated defense that came out from Team Mahi. The way that they went in for the retakes, the way that they actually picked off the members of Godl before they even got to face off against the site was absolutely amazing coming out of TM. And that was just the way that you actually mix in both tactics and individual flares of brilliance to make such a well-rounded performance. So we're going to look to see TM replicate more of that on Bind, which is more of a tactical defensive-oriented match where both teams will be mandated to play a bit more conservatively than they did in this particular hit map. So I'm looking forward to how they switch up the playstyles to adapt to each other, especially TM Antidote, man. And don't forget your man Deathmaker. He's been an absolute dominating force throughout the tournament. Unfortunate for his team that they lost the first game, but we're still not going to count them out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a brilliant point. Like the idea of mixing in the micro and macro aspects of the gameplay. When a team of both teams of these caliber are so close in terms of every single aspect, that right balance that you're able to find between them can be the edge you need to just win it out. This was Team Mahi's map, and they were able to pull off a win. We'll see if Godlike is able to do the same on their pick into Bind. But for now, we're gonna go set out for just that. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the stream down below, and get the notifications bell on, because this is the lower bracket decider finals. The winner of this goes on to the grand finals. So you can sense the tension really in these games as all of these teams get pumped to go for it. So you don't want to miss a single piece of the action. While we're setting up, if you'd like to get some shopping done, we have some top class performance storage, purpose built for gaming, or multitask and game with ease with the AMD Ryzen 5000 series processors. You can find amazing deals for both of those in the links in the description below. Check themselves out for you. I'm sure you'll be making your way to the second map, or maybe it's time to grab a popcorn, because I have a feeling we might be seeing 3 maps here. We'll catch you with the next map of the WD Black Open Cup, powered by AMD Ryzen, really soon. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the WD Black Open Cup powered by AMD Ryzen with the Esports Club as the esports partner. We're back for the map 2 between Godlike Esports and Team Mahi in this lower bracket decider final. So let's quickly go over to the map veto, see what we have got in store for us before we look into it. Now, Rebro, Bind, talk to me. As we were talking about, like, it's just a tactical flip around.
Yeah, definitely. Where you saw aggressive peaks coming out from both these teams on Haven, with the aggression coming out from the attackers and also the reverse aggression coming out from the defenders to meet them head on when the situation mandated them to. Bind, on the other hand, is just a reverse of that. Both these teams, they need to play really, really conservatively. The attackers, they have the advantage of the teleporters they can use to mix it up a few strategies somewhat. But if they do abuse it, it becomes very, very predictable for them, and the defenders can really adjust accordingly. So, in terms of defense, they're going to have to relay on those particular narrow corners and funnel the attackers onto those particular sites so they're able to pick them off clean one by one on this particular map. So it looks to be the TM are going to be the ones defending. They're going to have the advantage from the get-go here. And you do see them picking up the Brimstone, picking up the Killjoy, all these defensive setups, and the Sky, one of the quintessential agents on Bind. So do you want to prefer to like explain a little bit about that? Why Sky's so good on Bind?
I think personally, especially because of the TPs, like the job she does in the default, a Sova can do, but the ability she provides in the flexibility of being able to play is just absolutely huge. That combined with the idea that this is not exactly a solo queue game. In a solo queue game, I would 100% prefer the Sova over the Sky, but when you have a team behind you to play around her utility, the amount of plays you can make out of it is absolutely insane. And that brings to my mind the previous match between Godlike and Team Mahi on this particular map. We know, like, I agree fully. This is 100%, at least objectively, a defensive sided map. But last time we saw Team Mahi and Godlike play, their scores in their own attacking halves was 10-2 in their favor because these teams, like, they're just so damn aggressive.
Yeah, definitely. And these teams can make any situation work. You make one mistake, and it does not matter how much of an advantage you have in terms of the map, in terms of the mechanics, and in terms of the overall setup of both these teams. It really, really does not matter as they're going to go in towards those particular sides and those particular engagements with a lot of vigor, a lot of talent. So the skill gap between these two teams really not that huge, so it leaves up it actually falls to the defensive, I mean the strategic brilliance and the individual brilliance coming out from both these teams. They do have amazing players here. We do have Deathmaker, we do have Antidote Man. We're going to be watching both of these Jet players today here, CA. We're going to have to see how they use the operator to join those particular sites on towards Bind, because with the operator you have control over A Heaven coming on towards A Short and Showers. You also have control over that B Long area if you fancy. So we're gonna go straight into the match. The match pause timer has been turned off. Godlike on the attack. Team Mahi's gonna meet them up on the defense. You see 3 members already stacking near that A Short area to meet the push head on from Godlike. Unfortunately, the match pause timer gets second paused for some reason. Yeah, we're still gonna get into that, but it's gonna be an aggressive peek coming out from Godlike here. They're gonna find the first kill, like Skelly with a frenzy. The shot. Oh my goodness, TM Vibor, I cannot even speak before seeing that kill on. The satchel charge went out, resetting the aim coming out from the attackers here. Team Antidote Man still holding on to that area. Shivian White Horse now contemplating a push. Ooh, White Horse with the flick on towards Antidote Man here, that A short area. They're gonna push on towards the site here. An unsuspecting Hybon gets taken down by Vibor, who can't find the shot onto White Horse, gets promptly taken down. Not before TMX Cali is gonna favor him with the retrag. Shivy, the Hawk coming out from the Sky right to Ace is gonna signal to them that he's on that truck side, but do they know he's already rotated towards U-Haul? Excali opting to peek a little bit here. 2 members are now gonna peek out towards it. The jumping shot comes out, taking Shivy down to dangerously low levels here. He's a little bit of a frag here. The Hawk does blind him, and the Wolf is gonna steal the deal for him right to Ace, taking down Shivy, not with a weapon, but with the Tiger.
I don't think I've ever seen wolf kill in professional play. That's really funny, and you can see it in the players' reaction. Like for these situations, those player times are absolutely perfect because you can see Team Mahi. They knew that the round was done, but to get the wolf kill to finish it off, that just like hit icing on the cake. First round picked up by Team Mahi, a very aggressive push towards that A short area, and now they're gonna change it up. They're gonna play defensively, move that Killjoy onto the A, and this is the default setup that I expect from them. The Killjoy and Brim to hold down A allows you to go towards a much bigger site on Vine with just 2 players, and then go for that triple stack on B. Give the Sky both of the duelists so she can play much more aggressively and for map control. Now, Godlike themselves, this is their eco, but they pushed in aggressively. See, they've already got shots control, but they're gonna get punished from either side. The princess from either is Vibor and Hellfighter with one. And while Vibor gets the headshot, he gets taken out. But hey, it's just 1 kill lost, and Whitehorse's position now revealed. He's gonna get taken down in the match.
White Horse, the turret, betrayed his position on towards this U-Haul area. Antidote Man's gonna happily oblige with a kill with the Spectre right now. It's 2-0 to the defenders. The defensive-oriented sides of the map really showcasing itself right here in this particular game so far. But it's going to be the buy round coming out for Godlike in this particular round. So it's going to be up to them to really go in for a consolidated push on towards any site. They need to go for the picks here. Need to take off one defender off the map before going in for that push, but you do see TM stacking up towards this B side. They're anticipating a push on towards B, but 3 members of team members of Godlike have already stacked up towards A. Spike is dropped though. Godlike Whitehorse finds a kill on towards TM Antidote Man, but Excali getting the trade off on towards Whitehorse, and the attack is still on. The Tasmanian Tiger's not going to find anyone there though. Right to Ace in that advanced position near that side. They do not want to go in for that push though. TM Vibor still slowly but surely edging himself in an advanced position. They now understand that all members of Godlike are now in that B side position. The spike hasn't been brought to the side though. They're going to slowly bring that towards here as the rotation comes out from TM. The spike plan is going to be on green box. The retake, again, it's on.
Yeah, a 1-for-1 trade actually worked out for TM in that situation because they got the weaponry for themselves, and with the way Hellfighter has held on to U-Haul, it's especially huge because now they have the Trailblazer ready to push for the retake. They have the information of where to expect Godlike, and using that, it's Excali getting the first kill, getting Sarges off in this retake. Now Heaven and Godlike, they've got Shovels control and they're trying to hold on, but the way Flex is caught off in this position will mean that he needs to get a kill before he gets taken down, and he does so brilliantly. A pincer of sauce set up for Godlike, leaving it a 1-for-1 Sky versus Sky, but right to Ace with not much HP, and just the Spectre has the combat sniffer himself. Needs to push now, and he's gonna try to do that, but Heaven holding his cool, calm as hell, able to wait in the angle, wait for the spray, the pre-fire to come through from right to Ace, takes advantage of that, goes for the white swing with the Phantom, and picks up the kill. That round picked up by Godlike Esports, but they lost 4 weapons in that round, Retro, and given the fact that most of TM carried over with their Spectres, like I would think that for TM, that at least in terms of eco, that was an advantage stuff.
Yeah, definitely. It is more of a win for TM than it is a win for Godlike, given the fact that they lost so many members in that first plan scenario, but it's going to relieve a little bit of the pressure, provided that if they did lose out. It will mean that they wouldn't even have the assault rifles that they're actually going with a buy right now. The Hawk's gonna spot out Vibor here. Vibor's still gonna take down Deathmaker after wrecking the Hawk coming out from the sky here. Godlike Hyphan is in that area outside shower. CM Hellfighter opting for a few shots here. He gets a flash straight to the face, prompting a retreat on towards the showers area. He knows that Hyphan is there though. He's gonna hold on to that angle. He's not gonna let go. Antidote Man again. We've seen him press aggressively with the operator here. He picks up a kill on towards Godel Flex. On that aggressive peak, what is this man right here? Every single time we've seen him with the sniper rifle getting into those angles that he should not be winning, and he gets one kill and just gets back into safety every single time. It's just always amazing to watch CA. As a 5v3 to TM, they have the defensive advantage going in for the rest of the round.
Bomb grenade out.
I really like this setup from Hellfighter here. The contact alarm bot allowed them to take Shovels control in the starting. They picked up a kill there. As soon as they get that kill, they retreat from Shovels, having got the ultra for themselves, and then the turret plays to get in contact with the alarm bot to get double value out of the same thing. The Antidote is caught out by the molly and taken down. Shivi, he picks up a double, but the initial kills that TM picked up just worked brilliantly in their favor. The team ready to pick out the trays, meaning they get the kills and they make sure to take Antidote Man's operator, and he's gonna get that through. Like, I really like the plays coming out from Team Mahi, despite the fact that they're in defense. They're not letting go of that Sky utility too easily. They're constantly using it to get map control over the map. Like, we're gonna see this setup once again. The contact alarm bot with Nanoswarm, meaning it's not easy to rush in from A shot. This allows this KJ Brim combo to play much more aggressively in that Shower's control, and it makes sure that the Sky is not really contested on the other side.
Definitely, it's a really strong setup coming out from TM Hellfire, and he's gonna be the one in that A short area. But we do see all members of Godlike now onto that B side area. They're gonna try and explode on towards the side here. TM Antidote Man and his counterpart right to A's. They're gonna have to retreat back in towards the spawn area because they sense the pressure is on. The smoke's gonna go down, but the paint shell's gonna go down towards that backside area. Ivan's gonna take down the boom bot. There's gonna be a reverse paint shell coming out towards that hookah area. They have to push on. Vibor now priming his orbital strike onto that area. It's gonna go down as soon as the spike plant has been sounded. TM finding kills left, right, and center. Flex is the only person remaining on towards that hookah area against the onslaught of the defense put up by TM. This is the Maginot line that you just cannot break out of. Hellfire's gonna be in there. He's gonna pay for it with his life with a frenzy kill, but Excali, the man of the round here, picks off 4 kills. Easy for TM on that particular side. They went in hard against the push coming out for Godlike. That consolidated push against the site was absolutely thwarted with the way that they held the angles. My goodness, CA, that was just executed at pinpoint precision by TM.
Yeah, at TM, literally, they're like, you know what, we'll give you a buffet of methods to die from. You either get burnt to a crisp from the orbital strike, or you walk into the op crosshair and bleed, or you get exploded by the Raze utility. Like, as you said, just the onslaught of utility that TM put forth at them meant that Godlike, they had no reproach in that round. And once again, an aggressive push from Team Mahi. Godlike, it feels like they have no say in the way their own attack goes, and that has got to be disheartening, because continuously Team Mahi, they're able to dictate how they are playing this particular first half. Now you see 2 kills already picked up for this side of Team Mahi. They lost 1 in that trade. It's actually 3, my bad, as it's a 1-4-3 trade. Trailblazer used by Godlike to get information of this garden hold from Excali, but the information is not going to amount to much, because you can see Excali, he's feeling his confidence today, very ready to play the aggressive peak. Now, I do believe Evan has the guiding light. Yeah, he's going to use that to open up as they try to push in. But the Trailblazer now coming out for right to ace will mean an exchange of utility, and Antidote ready to stop that push.
Antidote again with that operator. So menacing in that angle. Takes down the last kill of the game to seal the deal. Oh my god, another mess up from my end, but still, nothing taking away from Antidote, man. He has no antidote, it seems, because he's just been absolutely funneling Godlike into those unfavorable situations against other members of TM, holding down the other angles here. Because when you're actually facing off against an operator like Antidote Man's, it really limits your attacking potential and the strategies you can even execute onto and bind, given the fact that you really need to expose yourself to those narrow corridors, those narrow off angles, in order to even see the face of a site, right? So it's gonna be up to Flex and Deathmaker using their entry fraggers, mobility spells to get into those advanced positions and really throw the operator off as they now push in with the Hawk here. Hellfire has been blinded, but it's gonna push Martin push coming out from Highbond. He's gonna be the first one to get taken down. The reverse mollies coming out from both these brimstones here. Godlike Flex is gonna pay for it with his life with a reverse sweep. Antidote Man holding on to a teleport with an operator here, but Deathmaker with that off angle Blade Storm. He's gonna pick up the operator, blind fires into the smoke, doesn't find anybody. Godlike Shivy unfortunately has to contest this pick against 2 members in order to retrieve the spike. It's gonna be all down to these 2 members of Godlike. They're gonna slowly try and push on towards the A short area. Are they gonna be able to pull it off though?
32 on the map. Excali in this small position is so huge, because that makes he's trying to make his way through a dense smoke with like barely any information. He gets punished trying to get this spike, and he's able to pick up the kill. So for this side of like Godlike Esports, it feels like no dice here, even in your attacking side, where like when you go back to the team's previous meeting, Godlike, in their first half, they started off on the attacking. They took a 10-2 lead. They were extremely strong and they were really proactive with the way they approached it. But it feels like TM, they've gone back to the drawing book. They've understood that Godlike, they like to play it slow, spread out across the map, getting pockets of control, and they're continuously denying that by making sure that every single time Godlike make a push on the other side of the map, they're getting punished hard. Now, a very heavy hookah setup for right to ace and Hellfighter here. The turret as well as the alarm bot and a nanoswarm with this crossfire setup. They use the guiding lights to get the initial information. Now they're waiting. Technically, he's gonna make his way in, but the alarm bot's gonna tag him right about now. But he notices it, and the reactions come out to take it down, meaning now the rest of them are exposed. But this is what I meant. While all of Godlike's attention was towards hookah, you see, TM, they already made the showers push happen, and now they've got a kill and a flank for themselves.
Definitely, it looks to be that TM Vibor is the one pushing up towards that though, but 4 members of Godlike are not going to push in towards this hookah area. The showstopper not quite finding anyone in that area as the attacker Killjoy ultimate has now been primed near that garden area. Is going to force all the defenders to push out towards the site, push out of that site here. TM Excali takes down Godlike Flex not before losing his team member on towards that site area though. Godel, Chivy, and Whitehorse. A 4v3 suddenly turns into a 2v2. The spike goes down. They have the orbital strike in there. Chivy has it primed in. Excali's going to be pushed away from that hookah area because of that orbital strike, but TM Vibor with the kill on towards Godel Shivy. It's going to be a 2v1 scenario. Godel Whitehorse has to defend the spike against 2 menacing members of TM. He's going to wait patiently inside the smoke. 19 seconds on the clock for him before it runs out. TM Excali's going to push out, prompting this nano swarm grenade to tag him a little bit. Whitehorse, my goodness, the patience coming out from this guy is just absolutely immense. As another smoke refreshes in, he's gonna peek out towards the spike here. They understand that TM Excali fire to the smoke, buddy. There's gonna find him though. He jumps up, he still gets the shot. He won't get the defuse though. My goodness, the clutch coming up from Whitehorse. I think Excali got a little bit startled there with the peek out coming out from Whitehorse. Just a little bit jump for some reason. Gets the kill onto him, but it just did not end up with enough time for him to get the defuse. Unfortunate stuff coming out for Team Mahi. They still sit themselves comfortably at 6-2 though. It's going to be Godel. They're going to be fighting an uphill battle. They're going to have to fight this mountainous lead in order to get themselves any semblance of compensation if they go on to the defensive.
Yeah, but that round was so topsy-turvy. Like, first TM losing a 4-2 advantage, and then Chivy using the operative strike proactively. Both of those decisions, like, not really working out, but Whitehorse, he is that clutch master. We've seen him in that situation so many times. As you said, the patience on that guy is absolutely nuts. But in that 1v2, I would like to see Excali go for the spray into the smoke to allow Vibor to pick up this spike defuse, because you have to give the respect to Whitehorse to know that he's the sort of player who's going to know exactly where the spike is. Excali not able to do that. Ran out of time for the defuse. And it means that this gives hope to Godlike Esports and their fans. You're like, hey, it's not over just yet. The match is not over till we crash that 13-round match, and that's exactly where they're going to look to make that push happen. I see the speakers used out for Hevan towards that A side will reveal the positions of the players in A, but also one coming over to the B will mean that hookah push comes through. The 2v2 trade for so far, but Antidote man's position in that hookah not reveal, meaning he gets the advantage, uses the cloud burst to reposition himself, and Whitehorse has no idea that he's here. But the same goes the other way around, because Whitehorse, he's being so sneaky right now. He's gonna find himself on the other side of the queue, and he's gonna take down Antidote man. Makes it a 2v2 on the map. It sets up his alarm bot to stop a CT push, and will go for the plant.
Tap plant though, they reposition themselves into an inner sight of that container here. TM Hellfire and Vibor are now going to be the 2 members left to do in for that retake. They have two angles covered here. Unfortunately, Godel do not know that TM Hellfire is in that hookah area. They are anticipating that 2 members of TM are going to push on towards that CT area. Unfortunate for Godel Haivan though, he peeks out, and TM Vibor, what was that? With the stim beacon in that CT area, he peeks out, 2 taps them, and just absolutely goes in for a retake. No worries, no harm done at all. TM Hellfire didn't even need to do anything in that particular regard. Vibor, the man of the hour in that particular scenario. He held on to that. He held on to the attention from the two members of Godel in that particular site, and he went in and he actually distracted them long enough for TM Hellfire to get a critical flank across from Hookah, but it was not needed as he was the only person, as he was actually good enough on his own to really go in for that one. But the way that they actually pushed onto the site, they forced a 2v2. Antidote Man being caught out by Whitehorse's cheeky little flank there, losing the operator, but his teammate was able to retrieve it for him. And now Godel have to be forced to go for the eco though. Deathmaker is the only one with a broken buy of the Vandal. He's gonna try and get a few of those headshots off, but it's not gonna be enough because Antidote Man is right there stopping in his tracks. Hellfire is another one who's gonna go in, taking out Godel. Whitehorse out before losing Antidote Man. On towards that heaven area though. Flex with the kill, a critical one for that matter. 3v4. They have two members to contest in that green box and that showers area. There's going to be an orbital strike near that U-Haul area, prompting all members of Godel to have to force the push out. And that is the power of the Brimstone in Bind. You use that orbital strike near U-Haul, you're going to find two members scurrying out of that hole right now. You will be able to pick them off so cleanly. 8-2's the scoreline.
Bibo has just been so clean on this Brimstone. You can instantly notice the difference like in the way he's been able to play this controller from map 1 to map 2. Map 1 on the Omen wasn't able to make that much of an impact because he, like what we know about Vibor is that he used to be a Sentinel player. On that Brimstone, he can play much more to that role itself where he's more of an anchor as compared to the Omen who's more of the initiator controller where he's starting stuff off, using the paranoia proactively and being aggressive. And Vibor just settling into this road beautifully. Now you see, TM, they tried to make an aggressive push happen down the long, but they get punished for it. A 2-for-1 trade picked up in the favor of Godlike, meaning now tried to ace, he's left in a position where he has to give up that B-long control, go back into side. This Trailblazer though, I don't believe it's 40 now, Antidote Man, but the jiggle, I don't even think it was an intentional jiggle from that maker, but it works out for them as they make sure the Antidote caught unaware. The TM to take him down and another picked up to finish off the round as Godlike keep hope alive of them reaching magic number 4 with the round. 8-3 on the map with a similar number of ultimates online. I'm gonna see if the Seekers for Godlike can be used to just go for yet another aggressive side push.
It's gonna be an equal, even Stevens round for both these teams here. You do have 3 ultimates on each side. You have the consolidated full force shield buys and the operator buy for Antidote Man on TM. Godlike, they're gonna go in for the assault rifles with the full shields as well. So it's gonna be a very equal match for the first time in this particular game. One of the few rare times in this particular game here. TM right to A, spots out a push coming on toward that B-long area with the Hawk. He's going to hold that angle really strongly, though. He has another Hawk primed out. TM he spots out Deathmaker, but unfortunate for him, he can't find a shot onto him. Does tag him, though, to the wall. But Deathmaker has his tagging of his own. Takes him down to dangerously low levels of 19 HP. But right to Ace is going to heal him back right up. So will Deathmaker be healed up by Ivan. The Sky utility really playing in favor of these two Jet players who are just so aggressive on towards the side push. The ult orb being taken up is going to signal the fact that they do want to push it towards B, and as the Seeker is going to go down, that is the final call for the push coming on towards it. Antidote Man's going to wait till the last second before firing at it, though. Oh my goodness, Ivan with that headshot on towards Antidote Man the moment he stepped down at B. Vibor, though, getting a peek on towards the flank of Godel Deathmaker. That's going to mean a lot of trouble for them. And the defender killjoy has one person in stasis. Godel Ivan's going to take down Vibor, though. That flank is going to be a bit costly. They did get one member, but they still have a 4v3 to fight off against. There are 2 members still waiting around for the teleport, but the rotation has already been initiated by TM.
Now, this position here from Excali is going to be really huge. He needs to win this duel against Whitehorse, but he actually misses him by an inch. Inside goes for the satchel, brings out the ulti, but actually doesn't keep the ulti in his hand. So it does mean Whitehorse has a free kill to be picked up on him. It's Shivy to take down U-Haul for another, leaving right to Ace in an impossible position. He's going to have a rocket thrown at him, some bullets as well, and he has no birds or wolves to try and make his impact. Right to Ace, going back for the fleek. But the gun just not there in time, meaning Shivy picks up the kill. And like, again, a roller coaster of a round because the way it started off, like despite Antidote going down, the fact that it was a trade of Killjoy ultimates with Godlike stuck in that B-long position, I assumed that Team Mahi had the advantage because of the flank. They were getting the opening kill was absolutely huge, but then they get a little too aggressive. Once you get that kill, your job really becomes as the flank to make sure that the rotations don't go through and the Godlike themselves as a team are forced to commit onto B side. But the fact that one person goes down, the Vibor gets killed, means that the flank opened up and the Godlike, they have the room for opportunity to just go for the TP, get themselves onto A and get the spike down. So well played by Godlike, getting themselves out of that sticky situation. Very good calls under pressure.
Placing alarm.
Definitely, it's now going to be an 8-4 on the scoreboard. It's all for TM to really win out the last 5 rounds of the game to get this on. TM Antidote Man just can't find the shot on towards the turret through the cloudburst. They do have really good control over the site though. They exploded on. They have the spike being planted down. I actually don't have it planted down because the Nanoswarm grenade went out and it really did not prompt a full blow flat out. The oh my goodness, TM before did not notice the boombot coming out from this upside from Rover's Godlike flex here. And there's gonna be a bunch of utility spells being used on towards this retake area. 3 members of the defenders now pushing on towards the U-Haul. TM Excali, even though he got tagged by the Flash, he's still gonna take down God L Flex. Flash is not gonna find him again though. And God L Hyvan's gonna be able to take TM Excali off. An Antidote Man taking down 3. TM right to ace. My goodness, the spike defuse was there, and even then, the action just did not stop happening, CA.
Yep. Like, it was so chaotic there in that situation, but I have to give props to Godlike for going for the diffuse amongst all of that chaos. I was really confused for a second when the team ace came up. Only then did I realize that, oh wait, the diffuse has happened and the team ace came up because the kills that they had got were distributed evenly amongst their players. So in that situation, the fact that Godlike pick up the diffuse, despite right to ace being the last man standing, it's Godlike to pick up the win, and that gives them the buys to come through in this next round. I do notice though that DM has stuck to his ghost. The rest of the players going for the buy. The Phantom on flex, that's going to be huge. We'll see if he's able to make full advantage of that. If he goes down early, that could be a heavy gun to give over to TM. Now, a very aggressive showers-based push for Team Mahi. The smoke's coming down as they take control of half the side, but it's up to Antidote really to secure the advantage and a nasty headshot to get U-Haul for themselves to Hellfighter and Excali pick up 1 kill each, and suddenly the site open like a can of beans. TM, they have all of the power points in A. They have U-Haul, they have showers, and they know exactly where to expect the defenders to come from, especially with this Trailblazer.
Tasmanian Trailblazer is not going to flood out anyone other than the people on U-Haul, though. TM right to Ace. God L Flex not being able to use that Phantom to full effect here. Right to Ace is going to pick up the second kill with the Ghost on that CT side, and that's going to mean that God L will have to pay dearly for that force buy with the assault rifles. TM commandeering those weapons with pleasure. It's gonna mean that they now have an amazing credit score going on to the 3rd round of the second half, as they have the Phantoms, they have 1 Spectre, they have 2 Spectres and 1 Bulldog. Now that is still a huge weapon discrepancy, especially when you consider the buys coming out from Godel, or the lack thereof. So it's gonna be a defensive round coming out from Godel. They have consolidated all 5 members on towards B, and the sooner TM realize that, the better for them, because they can use the teleporter and push on towards an completely empty A side. There's not even a Killjoy turret holding on to those angles right now. TM Antidote Man is gonna push up with the Hawk here. He's gonna get responded with the Hawk of the enemy team, but not before losing out. Hyvan though, TM Excali on form this man. Antidote Man takes down Flex in that off angle. Antidote Man takes down another one. Antidote Man and Right Days go huge in this particular round. They went in for a flawless, and they absolutely, completely used the weapons advantage to such great effect here, CA. And it's gonna mean that this round will also have to be one round that Godel have to win in order to keep on buying. Otherwise, they're gonna be forced onto the eco again.
Yeah, I mean, Might be like, you have a 5-stack in this? Is this supposed to stop us? Because right now, from our perspective, that just means we get to kill you faster and get a flawless round through. As you said, the weaponry advantage really being the key difference there for Team Mahi. Now, we'll see if Godlike is able to replicate the same, because they do have a bit of the advantage in the same, where Team Mahi have those Bulldogs and Spectres. This is a bit of a bonus for Mahi though. So for them, it's all about trying to cause some damage, maybe even pull off the win on the basis of that. Now, you see Deathmaker, he's picked up the first blood down his shot, and that's given them the ability to just step back into sight, play on the basis of info, and the info that's going to come through is from White Horse's turret. The turret revealing the hookup positioning, meaning White Horse able to then go for the aggressive peek, finds the kill, and now Deathmaker with another. Godlike Esports, they rally back strong on their buy.
They rally back strong indeed. Now there are two members of TM desperately looking to get the spike plant down, to get a few credits back on the scoreboard, or at least get a few kills for Godl to restrict their buy. TM right to ace though. He did not come on towards that. He understands that, wait, why am I not peeking up towards the corner? She's like, oh, there's someone waiting behind me. But unfortunately, Hyvon taking a sweet time to add a little bit of humorous flair to that kill on towards TM right to ace. The spike's down in a very, very bad spot for TM Vibor to retrieve. And Godl, they get their sigh of relief in that particular buy round.
You can see the smile on Hyvon's face. He realizes how, like, how just funny in the moment that particular interaction was. I think right to ace got a bit of a jump scare. He's like, wait, what? And it did mean that another round picked up for the side of Godlike Esports. So, like, the fact that they're able to pick up that round just stabilizes their eco a little bit. But as we talked about, that was TM's bonus. So this round is really where Godlike will be able to pull back the tempo in their favor if they're able to win. I'm looking to them to be much more proactive than they have been. But this setup really interesting. They played the KJ Brim on B side, the smaller side, and that does mean that you're relying on a lot of the Sky utility to hold down the A, which makes the Sky play reactively rather than proactively, which I do think is where she struggles at. But it's okay, you got Deathmaker in the bag, and he's gonna pick up headshot after headshot. He gets one. Gets traded out by Vibor though. Vibor with a nice jiggles, allowing now He Mahi to push into side his Antidote Man with the first kill, and now Excali with the showstopper to pick up another. TM secure a one-man advantage. They get the spike planted, and now they're gonna have to get into their post-plant positions and just wait for White Horse and Shivy to push on the retake.
Unfortunately for Godl, Shivy, and White Horse, they have 3 brimstone smokes to deal with. They're gonna count down real slowly here. He's gonna find one kill on towards Excali though. The Beaker's advantage is really playing on towards him. And brimstone, the shower of mollies going down towards that U-Haul is just gonna completely isolate all members, and it's gonna prompt out Shivy out of that entire position. To the dismay of TM right to ace though. That orbital strike not really playing out in favor of him. TM Vibor is sitting at 35 HP. Shivy's at full HP. He's single peeking. He gets the headshot. Will he be able to get the defuse? Although he will. The timer is on the clock. Godl, Shivy, and White Horse pull a rabbit out of the hat with that one.
Some things
and
you just
that
can't teach.
orbital strike coming out from Vibor might have just given Shivy the push that he needed to really push on towards right to ace and take him down, forcing that 1v1. Unfortunate stuff coming out from Godl, but TM will be very, unfortunate stuff coming out from TM, but Godl will be very, very happy to take that round. My goodness, what a topsy-turvy game.
Yeah, a series of unfortunate circumstances there for Team Mahi, but like brilliantly played by Shivy in that situation. Running away from the orbital strike, gets the kill onto right to ace, and then pixel peeks to perfection to take out Vibor. Vibor, as you said, the ulti not ideal. He could have just played it defensive and ultied on like either the spike defuse or for the timer on the spike itself to make sure that the defuse could not go through, playing for time rather than kill. But Vibor, he goes for that, and then in the second situation ends up just, he was holding the right crosshair, but for a second when he changed it, going for the swing, Shivy just instantly punished him. And that round absolutely humongous for Godlike Esports, because it puts the pressure now on Team Mahi to pull out this round to get the eco and gives Deathmaker a chance to pull out that operator. Now you see Godlike, the way they're positioned in this round, they're almost willing to play for the retake, and they have the tools to be able to do that. 4 big ultimates ready. You can see for the side of Godlike, it's gonna be the Killjoy lockdown to start it off. They're holding on to this elbow angle, and Team Mahi, they walk into a massacre. Lockdown or more down, I'm not so sure.
My goodness, TM, the way that they actually went in for that attack. Unfortunately, the lockdown forced them onto that elbow area. It was an absolute kill zone set up by Godl in that particular position. Wow. That was insanely well played, just dictating the pace of the attackers in that particular regard. The defenders really showing their teeth here and find the map favoring the defenders really coming into play as Godl find their stride for the last 3 rounds. They've been getting 2 diffuses off. They had 1 frag out in one particular round. But the way that they went in for these retakes, just absolutely insanely well tactically and meticulously planned out strategies that they executed on. They're gonna reap the rewards for it. 10-8's the scoreline. They still have 2 rounds to go before they can make it even Stevens against TM, though. TM won't relent, however, and have full buys going with the full shields. They're gonna go in towards A site before contemplating a push on towards hookah area. They do not want to go in for that. They understand that there might be people waiting there. They might have people holding on to that angle. They're just gonna slowly make their way towards this B-long area. Try and probe out the site, try and get a peek off before going in for that explosive push on towards the site. You can see on the map, right to Ace is holding the showers angle. He's gonna slowly peek out, but he's gonna be met by 2 members of Godl near that angle here. Godl Whitehorse is gonna pick up the first kill of the game with on TM Hellfire. Is that gonna prompt a rotation coming out from TM, though? It won't. TM Vibor getting a kill onto his counterpart Shibby with the headshot. The Nano Swarm Grenade is going to tag Antidote Man a little bit before the spike goes down. It's a 4v4 scenario. The retake will be on. TM right to Ace is going to try and rejoin his teammates. He might just find a flank onto an unsuspecting Whitehorse. He hears the footstep on towards Hookah. He understands that there is there. The information has been relayed onto that particular area. The paint shell is going to go down from that CT area. Godl Flex is going to find a huge kill on towards Antidote Man. Godl Whitehorse, despite giving away the position with the footstep, he still gets the flank off on towards 1 member. TM before is going to be the last person remaining, and Hyphon's going to do the honors of picking off the last kill. It is going to be a comeback coming out from Godl. It's going to be a 10-9 on the scoreline. Will they be able to find the 2 rounds? Find out next.
Yeah, I feel like, really in terms of the communication aspect for TM there in that situation, a bit off, because if right to Ace is playing that very slow flank where he's not trying to give away his position, you cannot afford any peaks whatsoever as Team Mahi. You have to play very defensively, wait for that Sky to come through on that hookah flank, and then with the pressure that she's able to gain, go through, because when Team Mahi give over the peaks, it allows Whitehorse to just take a second, check his flank, and that's where he picks up the kill. So brilliantly played by Godlike, but a couple of mistakes in terms of communication for Team Mahi. It will end up hurting them. This Boombot though, chasing down Deathmaker through the flash. He tries to pull out the ghost to take it down, but it will not happen. Instead, he's lost half of his health, going down to 75 HP, meaning no shields, and 25 of those health points going down. Now you see TM, they've got the operator for themselves. It's Antidote Man on their operator, and they're really investing heavily into this round. I do wonder if this is the Santos decision, but it's almost like they're trying to answer, and now using their ultimate to force into sight. It's the Seekers to know the positions, the Operator strike to deny you all, and now TM, they've got control. They know that they're in showers, and it's going to be a bloodbath in the showers. Like Scally picks up the double, and now TM, they've got this site for themselves. See Flex though, he's in a very sneaky position, but that guiding light blinded call coming out, meaning that he's revealed, and TM, they're in optimal position to close it out. It's really going to be up to Whitehorse on the flank to cause some pressure on them.
Whitehorse slowly making his way on towards that area. The Tasmanian Tiger is going to spot out Godl Flex in that showers area, though. Scally's going to run it with the peak. Godl Whitehorse takes down a few kills of his own. 2 kills before falling onto Vibor. TMX Scally getting the kill on towards Godl Flex. TM Vibor is going to do the honors of getting the last kill on towards Godl Deathmaker. And looked to be a retake was coming on. They wanted to play off of the flank that Whitehorse actually got up. They had 2 kills on towards the side going for that retake, but it just wasn't enough. TM having the numbers advantage, having that sort of control over the site. And like you said, it was a heavy investment coming out from TM, and they had to win that particular round. If they did not end up winning that, they would be in a very precarious situation, and they would just literally set up the comeback to happen for Godl, because they would be sitting on 10-10 without a full buy, mind you, without even their operator. So Godl Deathmaker, he's now forced on towards that Phantom. He cannot buy the operator. He could have gone for it, but he opts to not go for the 0 because they want to save it for when TM might, if potentially TM hits match point when they lose out this round. But TM, understandably, playing this one much slower than the last round. He's going to use the blinding light, the guiding light, to try and find a little bit of information on towards the showers area. He does know that one person is there. God Flex taking down TM Excali, but TM Hellfire is right there with the kill of his own on towards that U-Haul area. The site has been taken control of, but there are 2 members on towards that shower area. The lockdown is gonna go down, prompting the orbital strike coming out from Chibi. He's gonna destroy the lockdown and get a kill on towards TM Vibor. But the defender killjoy ultimate is still taking down on towards that spike area. TM right chase has been spotted out by the Tasmanian Tiger outside showers. They're gonna go in for the retake. The spike cap has been done. He's gonna stick the defuse. TM are gonna go in for an onslaught here. The Blaze Storm is out. He's gonna find 1 kill. He's not gonna find Deathmaker though. Godlike Hyvan is gonna cap the spike again. Know the information. Godlike Hyvan takes 1 kill. The spike is half defused. The fire's going down. It's not gonna be able to find the kill though. Godlike Hyvan, Deathmaker takes down TM right to ace. Oh my god, CA, that was a do or die round coming out from Godel, and they absolutely step up when it mattered.
Yeah, like damn, Godlike Esports pulling out that round from a situation where they didn't really have control of the site, but they able to retake absolutely brilliantly. In this 2v2 especially, Hevan using just that teensy bit of information he got about Hellfighter's positioning, through the smoke, able to get the kill, allowing Deathmaker to go for the defuse. The Sky protects that jet to allow Godlike Esports to pull back the round for them and deny the operator in the next round for Antidote Man. Now you see TM, they're the ones with the eco broken. It's gonna be Vibor carrying over that Spectre, while they're all of Godlike, they have full buys for themselves. Now TM, they're going for an aggressive B push. They've got the first kill as Antidote Man takes 1 out, and the grenade helping Hellfighter push into Hookah as he finds another. It's a showstopper as Excali tries to find the rocket in the right hole. Not gonna find a kill just yet because all of this Godlike, they've just scurried out of there. But White was getting a kill on Hellfighter because Hellfighter not getting up from the spike plant. The Molly setup absolutely perfect, but it's still a 4v3 in the favor of TM. But Godlike, though, that kill for Whitehorse made sure that TM don't have the time to get into their post plants.
Godel Whitehorse opting to shave a few seconds off of that so that his team can make the rotate on towards this B side. TM Antidote Man accidentally teleports on towards that A side area. He's gonna have to scurry back on towards site though. It's a 3v2 scenario for his team. TM Excali's gonna fall to Godlike Whitehorse. Vibor's gonna be the one holding that side all by his own. To great effect for that matter. He's gonna be joined by his teammates soon as he makes his way on towards this hookah area. Hyvan's gonna be there. He takes him down, but it is gonna fall to Antidote Man. He's really far away. Will he be able to get the kill on? Hyvan spots him out. The half defuse is there. Hyvan! He could have stuck the defuse and still gotten the kill. Gotten the window. Antidote Man was so far away. Oh my goodness. An Antidote Man must be clutching his heart right now because that was tense.
You can see it in the player cams, right? To Ace be like, bro, why the hell did you TP? And Antidote just laughing. You're like, oh my god, like laughing, of course, not in jest, but in basic just like, oh my god, relief of the idea that he was able to pull off the round because damn, Vibor bought the time for him to come around in and stop the defuse, playing that anchor like in that postman situation in next to the tube perfectly. Like that position is one of the worst, I think, in the postmas because it's so easily exposed from multiple angles. But he was able to 180 reset a couple of times and get the kills. Just plays it brilliantly. Gets match point through for this side of Team Mahi. Now they've lost first blood already because Deathmaker took matters into his own hands, made the shower push happen, and got a kill. But Team Mahi, they've taken showers back for themselves, and this is matched with the hookah and long control they've got on B. It's right to Ace on the flank while the rest of his team pushes in onto side. But you can see, I think, with this flank from right to Ace, a TP can be on the cards for Team Mahi, a rotation possible.
The spike, though, hasn't gone down towards any of the site. TM have to play this really slow here. They have a 3v5 going in for them. They have to go in for the A rotation. There are still defenders in that particular side, though. They know that the defenders have the position here. TM Excali takes down Hyvan. Godel Deathmaker is going to get the trade-off. It's going to be a really dangerous spot for TM to be in. They have to get the spike plan down, but right to A stepping up with that headshot. On towards Godlike Deathmaker. Excali, though, unbeknownst to the flank coming out from Shivi from that U-Haul area, right to Ace has to go back and really go in for a different angle if he wants to go in for the contention. He might opt to save the Phantom as well, giving away the round to Godel, taking up a few of the exit frags. That is exactly what he's going to do. He gets the blind off on towards Godel Whitehorse, but it's not going to be a full blind. He gets the headshot on TM right to Ace. And Godel edge ever so slowly towards the match to the overtime point where they can seal it off at 12-12, prompting the overtime where they're gonna have to win 2 rounds in a row. This is a critical round for both these teams. TM, of course, they would want to seal this off immediately from the get-go, but for Godel, it's do or die.
The funny thing is, like, last time these two teams met on Bind, we went to the overtime, and it was Godlike making the comeback against, they were 12-9 down when they pushed it to overtime, and then won the map for themselves. I'm getting a bit of deja vu here, because while it was not 12-9, it's still Godlike fighting against the match point to get to overtime. Those teams are able to win it out, though, because Team Mahi, now an aggressive push coming out, the vertical approach from both of the duelists as they push in, but Flex shuts it down, through the sequence, finds the double kill, leaves it down to just Excali. Now Excali, he's found 1 kill, and is able to make sure the CT push doesn't happen. Vibor with the lock. Many ultimates going out on either side, but it's Vibor with his lockdown to take down. Vibor with his orbital strike to take down the lockdown of Whitehorse. And damn, I'm just lost in the chaos, and it's perfectly so because now 3v2, both ultimates for Godlike ready. As you said, it's do or die.
It's do or die, so the sky has been opened up. Godel, Hyvan, and Godel Kibir are gonna try and push on towards him. TM Excali's gonna fall though to him, not before getting a dink off onto the incoming Brimstone. Hellfire and Vibor, 2 members here. The alarm bot has been spotted now. There's a cheeky flight coming out from Godel. Chip is not gonna find him though. Hyvan is the only person remaining. He has to get the defuse down. He doesn't have enough time. And the rest of the members of TM march on towards the site, getting the final kill of the game, sealing the series for Team Mahi.
That was extremely close, but Team Mahi, they edge it out. They find the consistency to close it out. And like the last round just perfectly describes, I think, what the experience was like for us casters. And I believe the spectators as well, just lost in the beauty of the chaos that these two teams have just brought to the table for us today. It was continuous action, packed in second after second, but it's Excali. 30 kills on the board, 6 first bloods to his name. He's going to take MVP, and I have to give the shout out to him because personally, having casted like Excali yesterday in the upper bracket finals to casting him today, there is a clear difference, and this is the Excali we know and love, just popping off today, but damn. I'm going to take a breath before we go over to the WD Black match highlights because I do really think that the teams deserve that moment. But like, hey, let's go over to the WD Black match highlights and talk about the difference in this series between the teams that broke. Because for me, I'm going to break it down very simply. I think the key difference ended up being for Team Mahi, the setups they had both in Haven as well as in Vine in their defensive side. The idea of being able to anchor around one specific player. In Haven, it was Antidote on the off. In Bind, it was just that Brimstone Killjoy combo, being able to just make one particular side impenetrable that allowed Right to Ace with his duelist to play a lot more proactive. It's these setups that I believe just worked out perfectly for Team Mahi. Because Godlike, I feel like they're newer as a team together and therefore they lack the experience to be able to pull off those setups. But props has to be given to them. They're consistently pushing the standards. They're consistently lifting the ceiling as they improve bit by bit, and damn, they're bringing these matches closer than ever before. So I'm just excited to see more of both teams. But for now, it's revenge time for TM as they set a date against GD.
Definitely, they're going to be really in celebration mood right now. But in the particular series that we saw coming out from Godel, it was an amazing showcase of skill and individual brilliance as well. In terms of their overall game strategy and execution, maybe it fell a little bit short of matching up to TM's execution and strategy, because we saw the way that TM defended on Bind, right? We saw the way that they consolidated control over the site. We saw how they used their sentinels, they used their controllers to really lock down certain places of the map and allow their entry fraggers and duelists to really roam around freely, picking off kill after kill on towards the incoming attackers. That is not a playstyle that you commonly see on towards Bind, where people will favor more of a staying back style where they hold onto a particular site and wait for the enemies to come to them. TM, though, really opting to go for that proactive approach, and that is something that can be enabled when you have the Sky in your team. Using the Guiding Light, using the Trailblazer, the Tasmanian Tiger, to really get that information out for your team. It's going to be it's not a full-on replacement for a Sova, but the flash utility and the concussion that you can levy with the Sky is an absolutely valuable utility. And they use that to great effect here. Of course, taking nothing away from TMX Cali's performance in this particular round, in this particular game, and in the series as well. What a beast he has been throughout the two games that we've seen here. And the way that it culminated, the second game, it was just action and chaos all around. In so much so that we even lost our words as casters here. I'm pretty sure the audience was starstruck and awestruck by the amazing performance being pulled out by these two teams. Every single moment, they just went ham at each other. Godel, unfortunately for them, they just couldn't find the last round, despite having the consolidated buys in favor against the SMG pickups by TM. But at the end of the day, TM's chaotic push on towards B-side propelled them to the final round to get them the win. So congratulations to TM. You've earned your spot in the finals of this amazing tournament, and we really can't wait to see them in action tomorrow.
Absolutely. Like at the end of the day, I just have to give props. And this sort of circumstance is exactly what describes the entire set itself. Like being speechless as casters is not really a phenomenon that we get to witness often, but it's also just perfectly in line with this particular match. Like the fireworks that went off between TM and Godlike, not a phenomenon we get to witness often either. But I do think we're going to see more of it tomorrow as TM try to take down GE, they've been uncontested in their top spots, so I'm sure TM will have that hard fight against them. Because today, Godlike themselves gave them that too. Now, I'm more interested to see more of Godlike, but for now, it will be them going out of the tournament, securing the third position, but no more matches left in that regard just yet. For today, that's going to be all from us. We'll be back with you with the grand finals tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell. Make sure it's set to all as well, because you don't want to miss a single second of the action tomorrow. If it was anything close to what it was today or yesterday, I know it's going to be absolutely insane and a hell of a banger between both of the teams. So make sure you're there. And in the meantime, if you'd like to get some shopping done, you can check out some top class performance storage, as well as purpose built for gaming, as well as multitask and game with ease with the AMD Ryzen 5000 series processors. Damn, I'm just honestly like still awestruck, as you said, by both of the teams. But hey, make sure you check out the links in the description. Get yourself some nice deals, nice discounts. Tomorrow is the last day, so you never know, they might run. You don't want to lose yourself time to get those deals. We'll be going off now, and we'll see you tomorrow with the WT Black Open Cup powered by AMD Ryzen with the Esports Club as the esports partner. See you in the grand finals.